Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, we will dive into the absolute madness of Ivy Forrester uncovering Melissa Dillon's true identity as Sheila Carter's secret daughter and their explosive blackmail standoff. And let me just tell you right now, I am still trying to catch my breath because this is literally the craziest thing to happen on this show in years. So, we all know Ivy Forrester has been playing God lately. She has been running around Forrester Creations like she owns the place. She stole Elektra's letter to Will. She tossed that little WE necklace in the trash. She orchestrated this entire breakup just so she could push Elektra into RJ's arms. And honestly, Ivy thought she was untouchable. She really thought she was the smartest person in the room. But Ivy's also incredibly paranoid, because when you are a liar, you assume everyone else is lying too. And Ivy looked at Melissa Dillon and just felt that something was off. Because, let's be real for a second, Dillon was just too perfect. She was this sweet, innocent art teacher who just happened to need a place to stay, and she just happened to move into Will Spencer's beach house. And she just happened to be so understanding and so kind while Will was crying over Elektra. Nobody in Los Angeles is that nice. Nobody. And Ivy knew it. Game recognizes game. Ivy could smell the manipulation on Dillon from a mile away. So Ivy did what any rich paranoid Forrester does when they get suspicious. She threw money at the problem. She hired a private investigator to dig into Dillon's background. And I can only imagine how much money she paid this guy, because he dug deep and the PI comes back and hands Ivy a file. And Ivy's probably expecting to find some minor dirt, like maybe Dillon lied on her resume, or maybe she has a lot of credit card debt, or an angry ex-boyfriend back home. But no, the truth that was inside that folder is enough to burn the entire Forrester and Spencer legacy to the ground. Because the PI found out that Melissa Dillon is not just some random art teacher. She is Sheila Carter's long-lost daughter. Let that sink in. Just let that marinate in your brain for a second. Melissa Dillon has Sheila Carter's DNA running through her veins. I mean, we already went through this whole secret child thing with Finn. But now we have another one. And it makes so much sense when you really look at Dillon. The dark hair, the intense, unblinking stare. The way she just quietly and systematically manipulated her way into Will's life without ever raising her voice. She is a predator, hiding in plain sight. And Ivy's just standing there looking at this piece of paper, realizing she let a literal monster into her inner circle. But why is Dillon here? That is the big question. Why target Will Spencer of all people? And the answer is so simple and so dark. Revenge. And it all goes back to Bill Spencer. So if you have been watching the show for a long time, you remember the toxic, twisted history between Bill and Sheila. Bill played her. He played her so hard, he pretended to love her. He wore that ridiculous sword necklace. He got her to confess to her crimes, and then he totally betrayed her. He literally threw her off a balcony once. Bill destroyed Sheila. He humiliated her in front of everyone. And Sheila Carter never ever forgets a humiliation. So Sheila cannot get to Bill directly right now. Bill has too much security. Bill is too powerful. So what does a psychopath mother do? She sends her secret daughter to destroy the one thing Bill loves more than his money and his ego. His son. Will Spencer is the target. Dillon was sent here to completely break Will. And Will is just a sitting duck right now. He is so heartbroken over Elektra. He thinks Elektra abandoned him because of the letter and the necklace that Ivy hid. Will is desperate and sad and vulnerable. And Dillon just swooped in like a vulture. Dillon played the supportive friend. She made him coffee. She listened to him whine. It is brilliant and it is sick. Dillon is systematically making Will depend on her emotionally. And Bill has absolutely no idea that the girl sleeping in the spare room of his beach house is a spawn of his absolute worst enemy. It is poetic justice in the most twisted way possible. And Ivy figured it all out. So Ivy thinks she holds all the winning cards. She thinks she has won the game. So Ivy marches up to Dillon. I am picturing this happening in the Forrester design room. Ivy probably has this incredibly smug, arrogant little grin on her face. She slaps the PI folder down on the table. She tells Dillon that the gig is up. The masquerade is over. She knows exactly who she is and she knows exactly who her mother is. And Ivy tells her to pack her bags and get the hell out of Los Angeles before she calls the cops, or worse, before she calls Dollar Bill Spencer. Ivy thinks she just won the lottery. She thinks she just solved all her problems or got rid of the one obstacle standing in the way of her plans for Elektra and RJ. But here's where things get absolutely insane. Because Dillon does not panic. Dillon does not cry. Dillon does not drop to her knees and beg for mercy. Dylan just looks at Ivy and smiles. And I bet it was that creepy, dead-eyed Sheila smile. And the mask just completely falls off. The sweet, innocent art teacher persona vanishes into thin air. And Dylan leans in and tells Ivy that she is not going anywhere. Because Dylan is a Carter. And Carters do their homework. Dylan knew that Ivy was a sneaky, paranoid person. Dylan knew Ivy would snoop. So Dylan did her own digging into Ivy's past. And Dylan drops a nuclear bomb of her own. She tells Ivy that she knows her secret. She knows exactly what Ivy did during those years she spent living in Australia. Now, we don't know exactly what this dark secret is yet. The show hasn't revealed the details, but it has to be huge. It has to be something catastrophic. Did Ivy commit a major crime in Sydney? Did she steal someone's identity? Did she steal Forrester designs and sell them on the black market? Did she hurt someone? Whatever it is bad enough to completely ruin Ivy's life. It is bad enough to get her fired from Forrester Creations forever. It is bad enough to make her an outcast in the fashion world and in her own family. So now we have a Mexican standoff. Two absolute villains just staring at each other in the middle of a fashion house. Ivy is holding the Sheila secret. Dylan is holding the Australia secret. And they both realize in that exact moment that if one of them talks, they both go down in flames. It is mutually assured destruction. It is literally the best soap opera trope ever created, and I am eating it up. So they make a deal. A devil's bargain. They look each other in the eye and agree to a truce. Ivy agrees to keep her mouth shut about Dylan being Sheila's daughter. And Dylan agrees to keep quiet about whatever horrific thing Ivy did in Australia. And I just have to stop and scream at the screen for a minute because this is so incredibly reckless on Ivy's part. She is literally allowing a dangerous psychopath to stay near her family. She is letting Sheila Carter's daughter roam the halls of Forrester Creations. She is letting this girl manipulate Will Spencer, all to protect her own selfish, cowardly secret. Ivy is basically an accessory to whatever Dylan does next. If Dylan hurts Will, that is on Ivy's hands. If Dylan burns the building down, that is on Ivy, and RJ is teaming up with Ivy right now. RJ has no idea he is aligning himself with someone who is actively protecting Sheila Carter's offspring. It is wild. But wait, the plot thickens even more. Because Sheila and Dylan had this grand master plan to destroy Bill Spencer. But Sheila is totally distracted right now. The plan is hitting a massive speed bump because of Deacon. Deacon Sharp, the man who was supposed to love Sheila forever, Deacon just ripped Sheila's heart out and stomped on it. Deacon betrayed Sheila for Taylor Hayes. And Sheila is losing her absolute mind over it. We just saw that insane scene where Sheila cornered Taylor in her office with a literal pizza cutter. A pizza cutter? She was screaming and knocking things off the desk. Sheila found out that Deacon and Taylor aren't just hooking up for fun. They are actually in love. Deacon confessed his love for Taylor, and that broke something deep inside Sheila. She promised Deacon she wouldn't hurt anyone. She promised him she accepted the divorce and would walk away peacefully. But we all know that is a massive lie. Sheila Carter does not walk away peacefully. Sheila is just biding her time. So here is my big theory on what happens next. I think Sheila's going to pivot. I think she's going to call Dylan and change the entire mission. She's going to say, forget Bill Spencer for a minute. Bill can wait. I need you to help me destroy Deacon and Taylor. Because Sheila cannot do it herself right now. Everyone is watching her. Finn is watching her. Steffi is watching her. If Sheila sneezes in Taylor's direction, she goes straight back to prison. But Dylan is clean. Dylan has no criminal record that anyone knows about. Dylan is a ghost. Dylan can do the dirty work for her mother. And just think about how easy it would be for Dylan to ruin Taylor's life. Dylan works at Forrester Creations now. Taylor is always around the building. Dylan could easily slip into Taylor's office. She could tamper with Taylor's medical files. She could frame Taylor for malpractice. She could make it look like Taylor is losing her mind. Or, even better, Dylan could go after Hope. Because Hope Logan is fiercely defending Deacon right now. Hope is cheering for Deacon and Taylor to be together. If Dylan wants to hurt Deacon, the fastest way to do it is to hurt his precious daughter, Hope. Dylan could totally sabotage Hope's life to punish Deacon for breaking Sheila's heart. But what does this mean for Will? Because Dylan just made this huge show of moving out of the beach house. She told Will she felt guilty about Electra. She played the absolute martyr. She packed her bags and said friendship is more important than romance. But guys, that was just a tactical retreat. That was manipulation 101. By moving out, Dylan makes Will miss her. She makes Will feel bad for her. She makes Will think she's this selfless, amazing person. She's still pulling his strings from afar. And Will is just too dumb and too blinded by his own grief to see that he is being played like a fiddle. And we cannot forget what is happening with Daphne Rose Walton right now. Daphne is a ticking time bomb. Daphne's about to blow Ivy's life up anyway. Daphne is struggling so hard with her guilt, Carter told her to do the right thing. And Daphne is cornering Elektra at Forrester to tell her the truth about the stolen letter and the necklace. Daphne is going to expose Ivy's manipulation to Elektra, so Ivy's secret deal with Dylan might be for absolutely nothing. Because if Daphne exposes Ivy and Elektra finds out what Ivy did, Ivy's life is over anyway. Elektra will hate her. RJ will probably distance himself. Ridge will be furious. Ivy will have nothing left to lose. And if Ivy goes down, will she burn Dylan on her way out? I mean, if Ivy is getting fired and kicked out of the family, she might just stand in the middle of the Forrester showroom and scream Dylan's true identity to the whole office, just to take someone down with her. Because misery loves company. Just imagine Ridge's face if Ivy yells out that Melissa Dillon is Sheila's kid. Imagine Steffi's face. Steffi's already having panic attacks and sleepless nights about Sheila being loose in the city. Steffi is talking about hiring extra security. If Steffi finds out that Sheila's actual daughter is on the Forrester payroll, walking the halls, drinking the office coffee, Steffi might literally pass out. The security at Forrester Creations is an absolute joke. Anyone can just walk in, and now they have hired a Carter. It is hilarious and terrifying at the same time. And Bill Spencer. Oh my god. I cannot even fathom the rage that is going to explode out of Bill Spencer. When Bill finds out that he was writing a paycheck to Sheila's kid, when he finds out this girl was sleeping in his beach house, right next to his son, Bill's going to go full dollar bill. The veins in his neck are going to pop. He will probably try to have Dylan thrown out of a helicopter into the ocean. The wrath of Bill Spencer is going to be biblical. And he's going to blame Ridge and Forrester Creations for hiring her in the first place without doing a proper background check. Because this all ties back to the generational trauma of this show. We just saw RJ and Will get into a massive, violent fistfight in the office because of the Forrester versus Spencer feud. Ridge gave RJ that hypocritical lecture about keeping personal feelings out of the office. But the hatred between the Forresters and the Spencers is deep, and now we have a Carter thrown into the mix. It is the unholy trinity of soap opera families, Forrester, Spencer, and Carter, all crashing together in a spectacular fiery wreck because Ivy couldn't just leave Will and Elektra alone. And I really have to wonder about Dylan's mental state in all of this. Is she really doing this just because she loves her mom? Or does Dylan have her own sick agenda? I mean, Sheila is not exactly Mother of the Year. Did Sheila brainwash Dylan from a young age? Or is Dylan even worse than Sheila? You know what they say? Sometimes the sequel is deadlier than the original movie. Dylan is so cold. She is so calculated. She doesn't have Sheila's explosive screaming temper. She is quiet. She just smiles and blackmails you. And that makes her 10 times more terrifying than Sheila waving a pizza cutter around. Meanwhile, Taylor is just skipping around town, holding hands with Deacon, acting like a teenager in love. They are going public with their relationship. They are so happy and carefree. Taylor has absolutely no idea that she is standing directly in the crosshairs of a mother-daughter psycho team. Taylor is supposed to be this world-renowned psychiatrist, this brilliant doctor who understands human behavior. And she is literally the most oblivious person in Los Angeles. It drives me absolutely crazy watching her smile while Sheila is plotting her demise. So what actually happens next week? I think Dylan is going to agree to help Sheila. I think the revenge plot against Bill will be put on a temporary pause. Deacon Sharp is now public enemy number 1. And Dylan is going to start planting seeds of destruction. Maybe she befriends Taylor. Maybe she pretends to be interested in psychology. Oh my god, what if Dylan asks Taylor to be her therapist? What if Dylan becomes Taylor's patient just to mess with her head and feed her lies about Deacon? That would be the most insane, brilliant soap writing ever. And I just have to say, the writers of The Bold and the Beautiful are giving us everything we want right now. It is messy. It is completely chaotic. It is clunky in places. Like, how did a private investigator find out about a top secret hidden child in just a few days? Who cares? I don't care. It is soap magic, and I am here for the ride. The pacing is crazy, the secrets are huge, and the fallout is going to change the landscape of the show for years. So we just have to wait and see who breaks first in this Blackmail standoff. Will it be Ivy or will it be Dylan? My money is definitely on Dylan because Ivy is a coward when things get really tough. Ivy wants to be a bad girl, but she doesn't have the stomach for real violence. But Dylan has nothing to lose. She is a Carter, and Carters always survive the fallout. They thrive in the chaos. Ivy has a reputation to protect a family to appease and a career to worry about. Dylan just wants to watch the world burn for her mother. And let's think about Elektra for a second. Poor clueless Electra. She is sitting there hesitating to take Will back, thinking Will is this awful guy who threw her necklace away. She is kissing RJ, thinking RJ is the good guy. And she has no idea that her Aunt Ivy is a blackmail criminal. RJ is teaming up with said criminal, and the girl who lived with Will is a literal psychopath. When Electra finds out the truth, her brain is going to short circuit. She is going to need years of therapy, probably from Taylor if Taylor survives Dylan's wrath. I am just so obsessed with this dynamic. The scene where Ivy and Dylan faced off was pure gold. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife or a pizza cutter. And the fact that they are now keeping each other's secrets means they are tied together. They are bound by this dark pact. Ivy is going to have to cover for Dylan. If someone gets suspicious of Dylan, Ivy will have to defend her to protect her own Australia secret. Ivy is going to become Dylan's puppet, and Dylan is going to pull the strings until Ivy snaps. This is the kind of drama we have been begging for. No more boring fashion show disputes. We want blackmail. We want secret children. We want hidden crimes from Australia. We want unhinged revenge plots. And we are getting it all served on a silver platter. I cannot wait to see Bill Spencer's reaction. Cannot wait to see Steffi's reaction. I cannot wait to see Ridge try to lecture everyone while his own family is harboring a Carter. It is going to be television gold. Okay, I am literally out of breath just thinking about all the ways this can go wrong. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I will be breaking down every single second of this storyline as it happens. The Forrester, Spencer, and Carter war has officially begun, and there will be casualties. Let me know in the comments what you think Ivy did in Australia. Did she murder someone? Did she rob a bank? I want to hear your craziest theories. Until next time, stay bold and stay beautiful.